Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue. Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue.
Flex. Buckle up and join the best. Let's see, relieve your stress. So yes, let the music soothe your soul and keep it going just to refresh. Buckle and enjoy the ride from 2 to the half of the 5. Mondays to Fridays happening live. Where we gon' have a ball, you can text your guys. Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. Are you ready for the Traffic Avenue? Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. An applause for the Traffic Avenue.
Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue. Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, Traffic Avenue, oh yeah.
City 97.3.
Accra.
Detailed news, unparalleled coverage. City News on 97.3 FM.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
City News.
It's 17:30 GMT. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. I am Umaru Sanda Amadu. Tonight, I'm here with
Akusiha Oche.
And coming up over the next 90 minutes, Office of Special Prosecutor raids premises of the Ghana Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program to conduct a search over allegations that the CEO, Kofi Ofosu Nkansa, distributed money to NPP delegates in the Asante Achim Central constituency, where he's seeking to be parliamentary candidate. We'll be going live for updates on what exactly is happening there. Also coming up, is Doomsor back? Well, it appears it has. And on Eyewitness News, we'll be getting to the root of the problem. And later on Eyewitness News, we go to Tema, where workers of the Tema Oil Refinery are up in arms, continuing with the campaign against the planned privatization of the company. They say 3 members of the board, including the board chairman, are compromised and ought to be removed. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on this and many other stories on Eyewitness News. And in business,
food inflation continues to drive overall inflation. This is according to government statistician Professor Samuel Inim.
The latest from the City Business Desk comes up in 50 minutes. Eyewitness News is live across Ghana on a host of affiliate stations, including in the Western region on Premier 100.5 in Takoradi, Beach 105.5 FM in Takoradi, and Sky Power 93.5 FM also in Takoradi. If you go to the Bono region, we are live on Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyani. In the Ahafo region, we are live on Hames 106.5 FM in Gosu. If you go to the Ashanti region, we are live on Orange 107.9 FM in Kumasi. Now, in the Volta region, we are on Akpini Radio 96.7 FM in Pando. On Heritage, we are Heritage FM 107.3 FM in Hohwe. If you go to the Northern region, we are live on Dasuma 99.1 FM in Yendi. In Upper East, we are on Word 88.3 FM in Zuarungu. In the Upper West region, we are on Westlink 88.1 FM in Laura. And in the Northeast region, we are on Eagle 94.1 FM in Wale Wale. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook. We are also interactive Join us on WhatsApp 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. You can send tweets using the hashtag Citi Newsroom at Umaru Sanda or at Citi973. That's where you should send your messages to. And on Point Blank, we'll continue a look at the NPP parliamentary primaries. My guest is Dennis Amfosefa. He seeks to remove Carlos Ahinkra or replace Carlos Ahinkra as parliamentary candidate in the Tema West constituency. But first, we start off with another NPP parliamentary primary. And this one is the Asante Achim Central constituency in the Ashanti region. We're told that one of the candidates there, Kofi Ofosun Kansa, who heads NIP, that's the National Entrepreneurial and Innovation Program of the government, appears to have been under arrest. He's been, we are told, carried away to his offices for inspection and search by officers from the Office of Special Prosecutor. Felix Amachi is the Asante Achim Central Constituency Secretary of the MPP, and he also supports Kofi Ofosun Kansa's bid. He's joined us on the line. You're welcome to Eyewitness News, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Where are you speaking to me from?
I'm currently at the NEP office.
That would be in Cantonment in Accra.
Sure, sir.
What's happening there? Why are you there?
As we speak, the Office of the Special Prosecutor is at the CEO office going through his things for giving out Christmas package to his constituents, the delegates at the Asante Achim Center. It was reported to the Office of the Special Prosecutor for giving out Christmas package of 500 cedis to the delegate. And for that matter, he must be arrested. And then that's what's happening now. That's what they told us.
So how did this start? What's the genesis of this story?
The whole thing was that, Ofosun Kansa is now contesting at the Asante Achim Central. And then the incumbent MP during the Christmas gave out, on the 24th of December, gave out 30 cedis to the delegates as Christmas package. And then the 31st, Ofosun Kansa also came out and gave 500 cedis to the delegates. Slow down. Repeat that.
Who gave what to who?
The current MP, Kwame Anyimadu entry, on the 24th of this last month, that's the December, gave Christmas package to delegates. The delegates, the MPP delegates, those who are going to vote coming this election, coming the primaries. And then Kofi Ofosun Kansa on the 31st of this December also gave out Christmas package to the same delegates. That one was 500 each. And right after the Christmas, we heard he has been invited by the special prosecutor to come and explain all those things, all the money he spent. And today, we were called to come and support him. I and my organizer, we came to Accra to lead him to the special prosecutor. And since this afternoon, we've been there, and now they are at his office trying to go through all his things for giving out this money.
So you went to the Office of Special Prosecutor near Parliament House or near the cathedral, the new cathedral that's been built.
Sure.
How did you move from there to the NIP office?
We went with him to the Special Prosecutor office. When we were coming, they took him, they placed him in one of their cars and brought him because that we were following the cars. So we came with them with about 4 guys.
So what was he arrested? Do you know whether they arrested him?
They arrested him. They seized all his phones. They didn't want him to talk to us, and they dragged him to their car. And then now they are at his office. They drove all of us away. They seized most phones. They don't want anybody to come in there. And even when we came, the accountant was out. He has closed. They called him. He's in. They are there going through his document.
Did you see whether or not they had handcuffs on him?
No, they didn't. They didn't handcuff him.
Did you see when they were moving him into the car? Did he go on his own or he was ushered into the car? Did you see that?
Oh yes, we saw him. They were pushing him to the car.
Did he say anything to you? Did he give any gesture to you because you were there with him, weren't you?
Oh, all that he said was that we are going to the office.
I see. Was he there with lawyers?
Yes. 3 lawyers accompanied him.
Are those lawyers at his office now?
Yes, they are still here.
Are you inside the office or you're outside? And what can you see
outside.
where you are?
The inside, they walked all of us out. So he and the lawyers plus the special prosecutors are in the office. The officers are in the office. And then we are standing outside as I speak.
About how many officers from the OSP went with him? Did you count?
About 4. Well, there were 4.
Okay.
4.
Are they police uniformed personnel or plainclothes personnel?
Plainclothes. They were not wearing police uniform.
Okay. Now, so are you getting a sense of what's happening inside the office? Are they still inside there?
They are still inside. They've been there for more than 2 hours now.
But you don't have any idea what may be happening in there?
They drove everybody out. So it's only Kofi Fosu plus his lawyers and then the OSP and then his accountant. They are the only people inside there.
When you say they drove everybody out, that is a public office. There would have been workers there by the time you went there.
Yes.
Are you saying all the workers were asked to leave?
All the workers are out.
Where are the workers now? Have they gone home or standing by the road and waiting to see what happens?
Standing by the roadside, hanging around. We are all here.
I see. When you say OSP, do you know Kisie Jabin? Did you see himself there? He's the SP, the special prosecutor. Did you see him or it was his officers who were doing the work?
He himself is not here. I know him. I've seen him several times on TV. But I can recognize those here. He's not one of them.
I see. Now, you also mentioned that some gifts were given in the constituency, and you said that the incumbent MP also gave gifts. How do you know? How do you know that? Were you given some?
I'm the constituency secretary, and then the delegate. We know all delegates. When they meet, we know everything, and then it includes our family members. It's not an open thing. He gave it to every delegate, and then the delegates they are around 623. So he gave it up to them. It's all out. Everybody knows it. And what Kofi Fosu also did, it's all out. Everybody knows it. And primaries like this, people go to their constituents to visit the delegates and those things. And it has become a normal thing that everybody does. But I don't know why this particular thing, MP is pushing these things to that end.
What do you mean by MP is pushing that thing? Are you suggesting he reported Kofi Fosu?
100%.
How do you know
100%
this?
Because he told some of the executives. He told my assistant. My assistant is Deborah Philip. He told him.
He told him that what? That he's going to report?
Going to report, yes. This Kofi Fosu to the special prosecutor. And that is what he has done.
But are you sure that the MP also distributed 300 CDs?
My brother, 100%.
So if I ask you to show me some people...
My wife is a delegate. And then she brought her money home.
So your wife collected money from a candidate that you are not going to vote for?
Oh, sure. She's a delegate. So this one, what Kofi did was across board. Everybody had it. Same thing, that was what the MP did.
But Felix, this is vote buying, isn't it?
It's not vote buying, but my bro, it's a Christmas package. We are not voting.
Christmas package, maybe a hamper would have made sense. Maybe some chickens or maybe some rice. But hard cash, is that usual? Is that something that happens every Christmas period in your constituency?
That is it. Our constituency, when you give them money, they appreciate money more than giving them the gift. At times people do their Christmas shopping and other things, so they require money to do those shopping. So it has been an annual thing. People give delegates gifts, especially money during Christmas. And this thing that we saw this year, it's not only this year that is happening. Every year, at least for working for the party, MP will come around, MC will come around. Those people who want to one day contest as MPs, they will also come around to at least offer their Christmas party. So it has been happening. I don't know why this particular time the MP is dragging these things to that far.
Could it be because of the huge volumes or the amount of money that was distributed? 500 cities, that's a lot, isn't it? How many delegates do you have in your constituency?
Oh, sure. We have around 600 delegates.
Times 500, that's a lot.
Around 300,000 cedis. Yes.
You actually know the figure.
Yes.
It's 600 delegates times 500 cities.
Yes.
I'm just doing the calculation. So it's 300,000 cities.
Yes.
That's a lot of money, Felix.
Yes. And then it happens every year. They do it. It's not only my constituency that these things are happening, bro. Because at times they will calculate. If you want to buy gifts, the gift may cost even more than that. So at least giving them package is giving them money is not anything. Yeah. That's what happened, bro.
Interesting. Okay, so what are you going to do now that you are there? What's your plan?
We are waiting for them. If they want to arrest Kofi Fosunkasa, then they should go and arrest Kwame Anyimadu too. He also gave money. So if they want to arrest Kofi Fosunkasa, they should arrest Kwame Anyimadu too.
Would you present any information to the OSP then, so that he could do that or focus on that particular, because perhaps the complaint has not come to him?
We are here. We are waiting to see what happened to this issue. So after that, we will proceed to the next step.
What, as a constituency secretary, what problem do you have with your incumbent MP, for which reason you are supporting someone else and even making these allegations against him?
My brother, the whole thing is that we've supported him since for 16 years now. For 16 years now. I told him point blank that I'm not going to support him. My reasons are two. The whole thing is that 2020 election, he nearly lost. While Zanado had 78%, he had 52%, difference of 26%. And since he is far from the constituent, we are going to lose a lot of votes there. That's why I told him to at least this time stay away from this election, because the constituents, they are tired of him. They are tired of him. He should stay away, allow a fresh person to come. And for that one, the 2024 breaking the 8 will be possible for us. And he says he is not going to stay away. He will still want to contest. And for that matter, I told him, I don't have anything against him. Not at all. Not at all. I have supported him everywhere. And I'm the closest to him among the executives. And now I told him my side of it, that he should stay away from this election, at least for Asante Achim to get maximum vote for the MPP party. And see what he's doing now. Trying every means to go through. That one is not possible. Why should you report your colleague to a special prosecutor? For what? Things that you've been doing every year. He has been doing it every year. We share his money every year, except this year. So if Kofi Fosu is giving out this, why? And then the people are crying for Kofi Fosu. He knows it. Go to Asante Achim and ask. Call 20 people and ask if they are to vote today. Whom are they going to vote? Ask Kwame Anyimadu and Kofi Fosu Ngansa. Kofi Fosu at least will get about 18 out of the 20, and Kwame Anyimadu will get less than 2. It's obvious. He knows it. And he's going to lose this election. Why are you going to this extent of reporting your colleagues? Meanwhile, there are people there, they need support. When Kofi Fosu has been doing it since I knew him. Since. It's not only this year. Go to Asante Achim and ask the number of people this guy has helped. People traveling outside, scholarships, people going to him, everything he has been doing it. Before even he got the appointment to this NEP, he has been doing it since. And today you reported him. I don't know how he is going to face the Asante Achim. The MP is going to face the Asante Achim people, because they are not going to take it lightly with him. It's going to be difficult for him. Nobody is going to forgive him for doing that. What is this?
Felix, but you would also concede that the amount involved is huge, and for a public officer, the OSP is doing the right thing by asking the right questions and investigating.
Sure.
He did that recently. The OSP, not he, but the office recently investigated Cecilia Dapa. We saw what happened. So it's the same thing that's happening, isn't it? What's different this time?
Oh, sure. I know the OSP is doing his work. for that one, I don't have any problem with OSP coming there. But my problem is that why should it come from the MP? Plus, he also paid some amount to the delegates. You went to pay 300 cities to the delegate. And this guy also gave us this amount. So after paying more than you went and then at least caused these things.
Okay.
So if he is guilty, then MP is also equally guilty.
Felix, please stay on the line for me. I want to speak to your MP and come back to you.
Sure.
That's Felix Amachi. He's the Constituent Secretary of the Asante Achim Central Constituency. Let me speak to Honorable Anyimedu Entry. He's Member of Parliament, Asante Achim Central. Honorable, you're welcome to Eyewitness News. Sir. Hello,
go ahead.
Yeah, Honorable, good evening.
Good evening.
Your Constituency Secretary is on the other line. He has spoken to me at length. He says you are the one who went to report Kofi Ofosun cancer to the OSP, for which reason the OSP is now investigating him, your contender.
Okay.
What are the facts from your side?
I have no clue what you are asking me or what the Constituency Secretary is alleging. It's about time for us to do the election, and the primaries are around the corner. This is not a do and die affair. The Secretary has taken side for one of the contenders. So, and he's been speaking passionately and with pain in the constituency, speaking to delegates. I didn't know he had gotten to this far of speaking on radio. But if you are talking about any allegation of reporting anybody to OSP, I have no idea. But he, the Constituency Secretary, is on record saying that the aforesaid candidate or my opponent has been paying 500,000 and promised to pay 1 million Ghana cedis to other people. And I mean, all these things you put on Facebook, and it's not fair for him to be selling out another candidate. So wherever he has gotten to, I would love that he stops it. But I haven't reported anybody.
But are you aware that your contender distributed money to the tune of 500 cedis each to delegates during Christmas?
That's not anything that is not. I've heard that. Christmas present, we all do it. I gave my constituents some Christmas present. Normally you give rice or something, but instead of giving rice or something, and I've been doing it every year when it's Christmas. Apart from that, I'm able to greet chiefs and queen mothers, and I'm able to greet destitutes within the society. I do this, so that's not a charge.
So you did that last year, didn't you? And I mean, just this past December.
I've been doing it every year ever since I became my secretary will testify to that.
The secretary says, yeah, he said that you've paid 300 cedis. In fact, his wife collected some. Is that true? You gave 300 cedis in the stead of rice or chicken.
I didn't deny that. I said that ever since I became the member of parliament.
No, I'm interested. I'm interested in the just ended Christmas. How much did you give to delegates?
I wouldn't recall, because sometimes you give it to the constituency executive. He is the secretary, and then you dispatch them to go and do the distribution. So it depends on how much I get.
He said you gave 300 cedis each.
I don't remember. Like I said, I give it to other people, my able body, able executives, of which he is part. They have been doing the sharing, because I cannot do the job alone. We have about 600 and something, and it's not everybody that would be giving a Christmas present anyway.
I just did a simple calculation of 300 cedis times 600 delegates. I'm seeing 180,000 cedis. That's huge. Did you give that much money to someone to distribute on your behalf?
Well, I haven't given. You said it's up to how much?
180,000 cedis.
No, I don't have 180,000 cedis.
No, you wouldn't have it now, but maybe you had it on 24th December. That's when you supposedly distributed.
No. You see, when it's about Christmas, I have a method of reaching out to the delegates. And until I confirm from them, from my executives that will be during the sharing. But if it is I understand you told me that he's alleging that somebody had given 500 cities. For you know, that's not the I don't know about what is happening at the OSP. So if there is any proper charge, and he would want to report me to the OSP, I mean, he should go ahead, and then I'll answer my question.
Yeah, so he's saying that he's saying that you are the one who reported his candidate, and that you should also be investigated for paying that 300 cedis
I don't have
each.
a problem. I don't have a problem at all. I don't have a problem if the OSP would want to investigate everybody, and I don't think that giving Christmas present is an offense, and I don't think that is a reason for, if the money is allegedly invited by the OSP, I don't think he should not speculate. This is not a do and die affair. He shouldn't speculate.
Okay, just to be sure, an allegation has been made against you.
This is speculation.
Yes.
You cannot just make allegations against me on air.
Yeah, but he's your constituency secretary. You have admitted that you do share money and you give it to your executive to do.
Made worse allegations at the constituency.
No, let's leave those ones. Those ones have not been on my platform. So let's deal with the ones on my platform. You have considered, Honorable, you have considered that you do give money to the constituency executive to distribute on your behalf.
Christmas present.
Yes.
He is alleging that I have given how much? To 180,000.
Honorable, last Christmas, which is this December, did you distribute cash or chicken or rice? At least that one you would know, you would recall.
Oh, yes, I recall, but I wouldn't want to stick to it on air.
You already have. I think you had already told me that you distributed
then you don't
money.
Have to go ahead to ask the question.
No, because I wanted to be specific.
I've already said it.
You've already said you gave out money. So
I told you.
Yes.
I told you that when I'm giving the Christmas present, I have able bodies that I go through them. I'll compare from them. And you are concluding that I've already done that. And I've said that is not a crime to give a Christmas present from my pocket to another person.
Good.
That's not a crime.
So if it's not a crime, then you could kindly tell us how much you give to these people to distribute on your behalf.
I'm not prepared to do that. I said I'll confirm from the constituency when I'm there.
Okay, so your constituency secretary says his deputy knows about your distribution channels, and that's how much you have given. So that should be believed.
Well, you could believe that, but I haven't confirmed that.
Okay, if you think that there's nothing wrong.
He's very vicious, and he could say whatever he wants to say. But this is not a do and die affair. It is an election that will go in. At the end of it all, we would all have to come together and campaign for the constituency to win. So he should be aware of whatever comes out from his mouth.
You are a lawmaker. If you think that distributing Christmas gifts is not a problem, the OSP thinks it is, would you advise the OSP to stop?
Now, let me find out from you. Have you spoken to the OSP?
The OSP officers are currently in the offices of Kofi Ofosu and Nkansa searching the premises. This after Kofi Ofosu had gone there earlier and has been formally arrested, according to what your constituency secretary is saying to us. So this is happening in Accra now. So I'm asking you, as a lawmaker, what would you say to the OSP in relation to this specific issue about distributing Christmas gifts?
I don't have the full facts of why the OSP is investigating that office. So I cannot be a party to that.
Finally,
that is not a fair question to me.
Finally, how are you looking in the constituency in terms of your chances?
Well, you could ask the secretary. He is there to make allegations. Is he at the studio?
He says you are losing, Poto. That he's on the phone.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
Should I believe his words?
No. The constituency, I have been with the constituency for long, and they love me, and I've been speaking to them, and I think they listen to me. So I'm making a good progress. To his surprise, I would be a victor.
Okay, he doesn't think so. So I wanted to hear from you what your own chances look like from your perspective, because
It's very good.
he says
Very
you are not
good.
looking good at all, and you are going to be. In fact, he said you're going to get, I think, 12. Is it 12 votes or
very
2
good.
votes that you're going to get?
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. If that is what he could say, that's fine. No, but it's not a do or die affair. If I win, also all well and good. If I lose, all well and good. And I'll be thankful to Asante Ashim Central for support me all this while. So I don't believe what he's saying, but I'm very sure of winning the election.
We wish you all the best, and thank you for speaking to us.
Thank you very much, sir.
That's Honorable Enyimadu Entry, Member of Parliament, Asante Achim Central in the Ashanti region. Let me conclude with his constituency secretary, Felix Amachi. Felix, you've heard your MP there. The allegations you made that he reported Kofi, the allegation is not true, he says.
Well, you know something? It is true. He's running away from certain things. He's first running away from the fact that he shared money this Christmas. He shared 300 cities. This Christmas is just about 2 weeks away. Why should he run away from this? This man will never speak the truth. Again, he told my assistant secretary, Deborah Philip, that he's going to report Kofi Bosu cancer to the special prosecutor. And he's running away from it. He's going to lose. We want to secure victory for the party 2024. And he must accept this thing.
Let's leave it here. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
You are welcome, bro. You are welcome.
That's Felix Amachi, his constituency secretary of the NPP in the Asante Achim Central constituency. So the story, if you're just joining us, is that Kofi Ofosu Nkansah, he's the CEO of NIP, the National Entrepreneurial and Innovation Program. He's been arrested formally by the Office of Special Prosecutor, according to what the constituency secretary is just saying to us. And this is because he allegedly distributed money to delegates ahead of the NPP parliamentary primaries. This money was distributed during the just ended Christmas festivities, according to the information that has been given to us. Now, the constituency secretary claims that it was the MP, Kofi Enyimadu Entry, who reported his contender, Mr. Nkansah, to the OSP, for which reason the OSP has waded into this. As we speak, officers of the OSP at the cantonment premises of NIP, we are told, conducting a search on that office and also on the person of Kofi Nkansah, who they've placed they placed under arrest and taken to the office for the search to happen. So that is what we know so far. We've spoken to the constituency secretary. He's made the claims. We've just spoken to the member of parliament who has denied reporting but says there's absolutely nothing wrong with the distribution of gifts. He himself has been accused or has been said to have distributed 300 CDs. He would not tell me how much he distributed, but has conceded that he gave money to his he gives money to his executives to distribute on his behalf. Let me read some of the messages that you have been sending through. Akapo Jr. from Ahavomim says, the special prosecutor at it again. He will rush and later turn around to accuse our noble judges of sabotaging him. He should be careful in his work in order to avert another disgrace. Wale Seidu Damba, so this should be Seidu Damba from Wale. He says, OSP should target high economic crime and stop chasing politicians who are giving money to party delegates. After all, how much are they giving? Just a token. Courage in Koforido says, politicians are very dodgy people. How do you share hard cash to delegates in the name of Christmas gift in no other year than election year? And there are citizens fighting to death to explain that this is not vote buying. Ghana is in trouble. Zilis Dwayne in London says, no long talk. This government is a failure. General Ortega says, it's quite frustrating the level of our democracy, or the level our democracy is degenerating into with extreme monetization. Even district assembly elections has been affected by this virus. Send your message to 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. You can go on Twitter and drop your message using the hashtag Citi Newsroom. Tweet at Umaru Sanda or at Citi973. Eyewitness News returns in a bit. Please stay with us.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
You know your papa see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, papa! Papa! Oh, Bobo, so how your engine now?
It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Quartz and you. Don't feel better energy.
Can't touch this.
Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that.
Yes, so
Somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched.
Sancho Panza.
Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz? No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry. Chema. Hey, Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. Now, the Member of Parliament for North Tongue, Samuel Kujetua Blakwa, has accused the government of assisting the Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA boss, Reverend Dr. Mishadai Owusu Amwa, to leave the country following a request for a probe into the Strategic Mobilization Limited SML contract. President Akufo-Addo on January 2, 2024, ordered KPMG to institute an investigation into the SML contract and submit appropriate recommendations to him in 2 weeks. Reports suggested that the government signed a 10-year contract with SML for revenue assurance, with the firm receiving $100 million annually from the deal. The Member of Parliament for North Tongue, Samuel Ablakwa, in his statement says the president's demand for a probe into the contract is a sham. Here are excerpts of the statement read by Citi News' Ni Ayikwe Okan.
President Akufo-Addo must immediately offer a sincere explanation to Ghanaians on the circumstances under which the Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Reverend Dr. Amishadai Owusu Amwa, who signed the dubious SML contract, was allowed to travel out of the country with his entire nuclear family less than 24 hours after Akufo-Addo's 2nd January 2024 press statement announcing that KPMG has been tasked to carry out an urgent audit into the sleazy affair. My unimpeachable and irrefutable tracking of Reverend Dr. Amishadai Owusu Amwa reveals that on January 3, 2024, he led his family to swiftly and clandestinely leave the jurisdiction. In the January 2, 2024 press statement from the Akufo-Addo Bawumia presidency, signed by Mr. Eugene Ahin, Ghanaians were informed that President Akufo-Addo has tasked KPMG to complete the assignment in 2 weeks and submit appropriate recommendations to him. The release additionally indicated that the president has directed the Ministry of Finance and GRA to provide KPMG with whatever assistance they will require for conduct of the audit. Now here we are. The GRA boss who is to be audited has been surreptitiously assisted to leave the country. It is also worth noting that KPMG has only about 6 days left to report to the president. Clearly, President Akufo-Addo's much-touted investigations into the SML scandal is nothing but a sham. The NDC caucus in Parliament shall be demanding an urgent inquiry into how Reverend Dr. Amishadai Owusu Amwa fled Ghana. We shall seek to identify and sanction the conspirators who facilitated his disgraceful escape despite presidential assurances of an urgent high-stakes KPMG audit. We shall be committed to unraveling the subsequent silence, grand deception, and attempted cover-up.
Citi News' Ni Ayikwe Okan bringing us excerpts of a statement by the Member of Parliament for North Tongue, Samuel Kujetua Blakwa.
This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We are coming to you from our studios in Adabraka in Accra. My name is Umaru Sandamadu, here with Akosua Ochre. Let's move to some other stories now. In fact, yesterday around this time, while I was doing Eyewitness News, we were thrown into a blackout. Some of you sent messages complaining that we had gone off the air. Now, that has been happening frequently in the past few days. I'm sure you would have recorded same in your homes, maybe in your workplaces. We've been seeing the what looks like the gradual return of Dumso. Could that be the case? Let's speak to people who understand the energy sector very well. The Institute for Energy Security is one institution that has been looking at that sector. Nana Amwesi the seventh is the executive director. Nana, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you very much, Amar-Sanda, and good evening to you and your listeners.
Good evening to you. Have you been experiencing the power fluctuations yourself?
Yes, of course. There is no Ghanaian that is not experiencing this situation. Everywhere you go, you find power outages. I've been in Cape Coast for the past 3 days, and I have not enjoyed power for more than 48 hours in the last 3 days. And so it tells you the kind of situation we find ourselves in. You are reporting from Accra that we've had that challenge. In Cape Coast, in Mankasim, in the Konfiaboro, and all over the place, everybody have power outage. As we speak today, at this moment, the entire Ekunfi, almost the whole section of Ekunfi, is out of power.
I see. What explanations from the technical side do we have?
Well, the generation bit is having that challenge. It's not like the plants are not ready to work. The plants are ready to work. But the fuel, and this time we're talking about natural gas, that is to be fed into the plant to get it running and put the power on the grid for us to get it in our various homes and businesses, has been the challenge. In the Western Corridor, GMPC is able to move power from Atwabo to the Western Corridor. And so, except T1 that is not working, all the power plants in the Western Corridors are working. But to move that natural gas from the Western Corridor to the Eastern Corridor has been the challenge, because WAPCO is the transporter or the transmitter of this natural gas. And they have chosen not to, move the gas. They've shut down their valves. And so no single, no amount of gas is moving from the Western Corridor to the Eastern Corridor. Yes, of course, we are getting the end gas or the supply of gas from Nigeria to the Eastern Corridor, but it's not more than 555 million cubic feet. And so the only plant that is taken this Nigeria gas supply is Asogli. And it will surprise you that Asogli, that's supposed to even produce about 550 megawatts, is producing less than 200 megawatts, because only two of the plants can run. Only two generators can run with the kind of supply they're getting from Nigeria. So the major challenge is hauling the natural gas from the Western Corridor to the Eastern Corridor for power plants in Tema Enclave, particularly, to get running.
And
so
the challenge with the haulage is not technical, but it's financial, isn't it?
Of course, as we all understand. And going forward, we did indicate last year that our major challenge in the sector will be financial in kind, and it's going to linger for a long time. And we'll be seeing more of this doomsday even as we draw closer to the end of the year, because until we position ourselves to generate enough revenue in the sector to pay all the players, at one moment you will find that WAPCO will open the valve, but then other plants will also choose to shut down because government owes them. So all our issue today is financial, and we pray that we don't get technical issues coming to compound the situation.
Before we came into the new year, there was a standoff between the IPPs and the government. It appears that problem was solved, or was it a quick fix solution which has become a problem again?
Well, of course, it's a quick fix. We all know. And as we speak today, the amount of revenue that we generate from the power sector vis-a-vis the cost incurred is far less. And so if I should use a simple analogy, you use 10 cities to generate power, but at the end of the day, you're receiving just about 7 cities from the sale of the power. How will you be able to, pay all the cost components within that stream. It's going to be very difficult. So we are piling up debts in the sector. And when you pile up debt, it means that you are not able to pay the utilities in the sector. At one moment, it may be the transmitter. At another moment, it may be a generator that you are not able to pay, or a transmitter of same power like Grico. And so we have a whole lot of issues in the sector. We pray that government find the right tuning and generate more revenue to probably cover all the costs. Other than that, we are likely to see the power sector debt increasing every month.
It's interesting you mentioned revenue there. I'm looking at the Facebook post of John Abdullah Jinapor. He served as Minister for Power in the Mahama government. He's MP for Yapeku. So let me read the post and ask you to comment. He says, government to impose value-added tax, that's VAT, on residential electricity consumers. The Akufo-Addo Bawumia-led government has taken taxation to another level by deciding to charge VAT on residential electricity consumption. It must be made abundantly clear that residential usage of electricity has always been considered a social good and has always been exempted from VAT. In the wake of the ever-increasing economic hardships, the government, through the Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA, has directed all electricity and power-producing companies to apply the Get Fund levy of 2.5%, NHIL 2.5%, and VAT rate of 12.5% on the value of the energy they supply to residential consumers. This can be classified as a fresh tax that will add extra burden to consumers. By this, consumers must prepare to pay more for the electricity they consume in the coming days. Without any shred of doubt, the introduction of this new tax has been occasioned by the IMF conditions imposed on Ghana. What do you know about this? Is it true?
Definitely, it is the case. And we deem this as retrogressive. And it's a situation that is going to compound the problems in the sector. If you apply this levy, then of course you are choosing to ask consumers to pay more for power consumed. If any other, sector player or investor is looking at this situation, they will advise themselves to the extent that they will invest in the sector. Because when you increase the tariff, you are increasing the burden on consumers. They may be compelled to either shy away from that power system or bypass the system by way of theft as well. When they bypass the system and probably resort to generators or probably renewable energy, then of course you are going to get excess capacity, of which will come with other cost dimension. You have to pay for same. And so what government is doing is rather going to worsen the situation that we have today. It's going to make the power sector unattractive. It's going to increase, the stealing and the theft in the sector. And we think that it's not going to solve any situation here. It's going to make it worse.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thanks for having me, Marisanda.
That's Nana Amoisi the 7th. He's the Executive Director of the Institute of Energy Security. We're talking there about Doomsaw, and I was quoting the former Deputy Minister of Power. In fact, he has another comment on Doomsaw, and he says, Doomsaw back as Gridco and ECG shared 500 megawatts of power arising from the inability of Ghana to pay for gas consumed from the West Africa gas pipeline, leading to another shutdown of the pipeline by WAPCO. It is sad to note that the cash waterfall mechanism, which was instituted to prevent the growth of the sector-wide indebtedness and ensure equitable distribution of revenue, has been hijacked by the Ministry of Finance, leading to serious challenges in the energy sector. The sad news is that Ghanaians will continue to sleep in darkness unless government intervenes once more. So that's John Abdullah Jinapor's post on Doomsaw. Lots of people have been commenting about the situation with the power sector, the Doomsaw or the power outages that we are seeing. Let us know what you also know, what has been happening to your community or your home or your workplace in relation to Doomsaw. Send us your messages and the world will hear what your views are. Let us know what your location is and what the challenge there is exactly. And talking about the energy sector, you do know that TOR has been at the center of controversy since a planned announcement or an announcement to privatize the company, the State Oil Refinery, for some years. It has been a running battle between some of the workers and managers of the company. Now, the workers, represented by the General Transport, Petroleum and Chemical Workers Union, is demanding the removal of 3 board members of the Tema Oil Refinery. Let's hear why. The man who is the national president of the national chairman of the union is Bernard Owusu. He's joining me on the line. Bernard, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Good evening, and thank you for having me, my brother.
Who are these 3 members of the Tema Oil Refinery board that you want removed, and why do you want them removed?
First of all, the 3 board members that we are asking that the president do the needful and ask them to go is Mr. Appinting, Leon Appinting, the board chairman, Mr. Adumaku, and Ms. Sapara Grant, these 3 individuals. Our reason of saying this is simply that you remember the top board came out with a press release around November, 26 November 2023, trying to defend the indefensible deal that the Oil Refinery and Sorenco Asset Management, now the energy processing company. These 3 individuals are the people who are spearheading this agenda upon all the letters, all the petitions, all the press conferences that we have had to point out to them that, look, this deal is not right. These deals smell of corruption and some activities of conflict of interest. But to our surprise, nothing was done about it. But a press conference was released to defend this, what you call canker. Tomorrow, how can you, as a board, sit down for close to 2 years to, as a matter of fact, try to get a strategic partner to come and, invest in Tor? And as we speak now, we have had nothing on the table to work with. And we think this is something that we should not, condone as what you call workers or as a national union. Someone may ask, why are you pinpointing 3 out of the lot of the board members? The reason being that these are the 3 key people who are spearheading this agenda, irrespective of what you call caution that there are other board members asking them not to sort of go ahead in these what you call transactions. So, Omaro, these are some of the reasons why we think that these people are not supposed to be in the helm of affairs of the refinery.
Who can remove them? And have you spoken to this person? And what has the person said to you?
For us, we have had a meeting with the presidency 2 weeks ago. We laid our concerns to them. And even last year, a petition was sent to the presidency. And tomorrow, we are not getting any feedback. But as citizens of this country, we cannot sit down aloof while the refinery is getting rotten day in, day out. Because as we speak now, the core mandate of the refinery is to refine crude, not to take in finished products and, do distribution and make some few coins out of it. And we think that if we don't speak, the refinery will collapse entirely.
Very well. We'll keep an eye on that. Thank you for speaking to us, and we do pray that it does not collapse.
Thank you so much for having me, and the good Lord help all of us.
Help all of us.
To restore all.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. That's Bernard Owusu. He's chairman of the General Transport, Petroleum and Chemical Workers Union of the Trades Union Congress, TUC. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Up next, Akosi will bring us the latest in the world of business, and then we have Point Blank coming up. Point Blank will take us to Tema West, where we'll be hearing from a gentleman who is hoping to replace Carlos Ahinkra as MPP parliamentary candidate for the next election. Stay with us.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. City Business News. Be informed.
It's time for City Business News and Eyewitness News, brought to you by GCB Bank PLC. GCB Personal Loan. Make that big move and dream a reality. My name is Akosia Ocho. Let's settle for the details. The Ghana Statistical Service has indicated that food inflation continues to drive the country's overall inflation. This comes despite the continued decline in the inflation rate over the past few months. Headline inflation witnessed a further decrease for the fifth consecutive time, recording a rate of 23.2% for December 2023. This decline comes as a positive outcome considering that government and the central bank's end of 2023 inflation target stood at 31.3% and 29.1% respectively. Here's a government statistician, Professor Samuel Kobnainim.
For the month of December 2023, rate of inflation on a year-on-year basis stood at 23.2%. relative to 26.4% that was recorded in the month of November 2023, signifying a 3.2 percentage point difference between the rate of inflation that was recorded for the month of November 2023 relative to December 2023. From a food and non-food perspective, we see a variation of 10.0 percentage points between food and non-food inflation, as food inflation for the month of December 2023 stood at 28.7% relative to 18.7% for non-food inflation for the month of December 2023. We saw a marginally sharper decline in food inflation as it declined by 3.5 percentage points between November and December 2023, declining from 32.2% to 28.7%, and non-food inflation declining by 3.0%, specifically 21.7 November 2023 to 18.7 December 2023. From a locally produced item and an imported item perspective, we see a reversal of the dominance of imported items as inflation for locally produced items stood at 23.8% relative to not imported item 21.9%. On a month-on-month basis, we see a marginal decline of monthly inflation, declining from 1.5% in November 2023 to 1.2% in December 2023. From a food and non-food perspective on a monthly basis, we've seen a reversal of the dominance of non-food inflation for the period August to November 2023.
You heard that Professor Samuel Kobnainim, he's government statistician. Let's still stay on the economy because economist Professor Godfred Bokwing has highlighted the concerns regarding the delayed external debt restructuring on the country's financial stability. All this comes as Ghana's ongoing discussions on restructuring its external debt with the official creditor committee progresses slowly. Speaking to City Business News, Professor Bokwing stressed that the success of the delivery of the second tranche of the IMF loan could be compromised if substantial progress is not made within the next 3 weeks.
If you look at the program, by 2023, we're supposed to get $1.2 billion from the IMF. We've already gotten 600 million. 600 million is outstanding. We're supposed to get more than $300 million from the World Bank and the rest of them. So all of these are outstanding, and that tells you that, yes, we are implementing the IMF program, but of course, given that all these reliefs have delayed, has implication for how well the program can go. And if we don't make significant progress within the next 3 weeks or so, then to some extent we can say that the program may achieve limited effectiveness.
Professor Godfred Bokwing is an economist. Now, analysts within the energy sector are cautioning that revenue shortfalls as a result of current power cuts could necessitate the downwards revision of expenditure on key infrastructural projects. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta reported during the 2024 budget presentation that in the first quarter of 2023, crude oil production decreased by 9.54% to 35.42 million barrels. In an interview with Citi Business News, energy analyst Benjamin Insia warned that if measures are not taken, the development will not push government to do its best.
I think that the decline in the output or production from our various oil producing fields has a lot of negative effects on revenue mobilization in Ghana. For example, if you take from 2019, all the PF reports indicate that there has been a decline of about 39.9%, which is almost about 40% in the production of crude. And for that matter, various government projections, apart from 2022, when the conflict in Ukraine started, which pushed price of petroleum products upward, government in other years realized underperformance of revenue from the petroleum upstream. And that itself is quite bad.
Benjamin Insia is an energy analyst. Now, before we go, some cocoa farmers have petitioned the Commission of Human Rights and Administrative Justice, SHRAJ, to direct the Minerals Commission to suspend the issuance of licenses to miners in growing areas. Now, the farmers are further demanding that SHRAJ stops all surface miners from mining in these communities. This follows the takeover and destruction of 10,000 acres of cocoa farms by Nawara Mining Company in the Fantiakwa South District and Ibuakwa North Municipality, all in the Eastern Region. AC Humphrey is a member of the Fantiakwa Cocoa Cooperative Union, and he's been speaking to Citi Business News.
Only Narawa, but we are talking about surface mining companies who are disturbing cocoa farm and cocoa farmland. And currently, since 2011, that is where the head of Narawa Mining Company, they have been coming to the community claiming that all the area has been given them as their concession to mine. And in fact, when you look at how diversified they are doing to the cocoa farms and cocoa farms, it is growing worse and worse because, and we cannot sit aloof to allow the mining companies to destroy our cocoa farmland.
AC Humphrey is a member of the Fantiakwa Cocoa Cooperative Union. And that's how we wrap up Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. The business news is brought to you by GCB Bank PLC. GCB Personal Loan, make that big move and dream a reality. I am Akosia Otre. Up next is Point Blank.
Hello, Linda. You won't believe what I am planning next. I want to start my postgraduate degree, buy a car, and build my dream home. But you know what's stopping me?
What's that, Mike?
Money, oh. That'll be my biggest wahala.
Oh, you are sorted, Cry. With a GCB Big Move personal loan promo, you can borrow up to a whopping 400,000 Ghana cedis at a significantly reduced interest rate in less than 24 hours.
Like, seriously? How do I qualify?
Yes, it's available to all GCB salary account holders. Plus, you get a 2-month grace period before you start to pay back.
Susket, I'm opening an account with GCB now.
Get a personal loan of up to 400,000 Ghana cedis at a significantly reduced interest rate in less than 24 hours. Call 0800-422-422 or visit your nearest GCB branch today to fund your next big move as we celebrate 70 years of greatness. T's and C's apply. GCB Bank, your bank for life.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You know, Papa, see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa!
Bobo, so how your engine now?
It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Quas and you. Can feel better energy. Can't touch this. Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that? Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched. Sancho Panza. Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz? No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry. Chairman Mane. Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
My name is Umaru Sanda Amadu. Tonight on Point Blank, as many as 18 NPP members of parliament have decided not to seek re-election. They've decided to hang their parliamentary boots. One of them, my senior from Tema Secondary School. I was going to add a few more things. The man who was accused of chewing ballot papers in Parliament when this new Parliament was being inaugurated. A man who conducted an interview with me here on Eyewitness News, confessing to having tested positive for COVID-19 and yet going to registration centers, for which reason the president sacked him from his government as Deputy Minister for Trade. The Member of Parliament for Tema West, Carlos Ahinkra, has decided not to seek re-election. That means the seat becomes vacant, at least from the MPP side. NDC has already chosen a candidate. It's now the turn of the New Patriotic Party to choose a replacement for Carlos Ahinkra. So tonight on Point Blank, my guest is one of two persons seeking to be the parliamentary candidate of the MPP in Tema West. Is Dennis Amfo Sefa. He wants to be NPP parliamentary candidate when the party goes to the polls on January 27. He's joined me in studio. You're welcome to Point Blank.
Thank you, my brother.
How are you? Please come closer
Great.
to the microphone.
You too?
I'm okay. The year is starting on a very funny note. Doomsaw all over the place. You know, the Hamatan, the pocket is dry, everything. So
you had light out just for some couple of days, and you are referring to it as doomsaw. We had lived in this country where we had 3 years, and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, that on a daily basis,
and we removed him and we brought you because you said that you will fix it.
Enjoyed light for the past 8 years.
So we should bear the pain now.
We are having some challenges. I don't think you can refer to that as
don't worry. Let me not ask you to come. This. Let me talk to you. Who are you, first of all?
Well, my name is Dennis Amfosefa, as you rightly said. I'm a businessman and an international freight and trade consultant. I lead in Tema. I've worked all my life in Tema. The immediate past constituency chairman of the Tema West MPP. So basically, that is all about me for now.
So you were constituency chair?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. For how long?
One term.
Okay.
Yeah, but before that, I was the campaign manager for both the presidential and parliamentary candidates for the constituency during the 2016 elections. And thereafter, I became the constituency chairman and also managed the elections for 2020, which saw victory for both the presidential and parliamentary candidates.
So you campaigned for Carlos Ahinkra and the president?
Exactly.
Were you there when, Tema West is Edu, Honorable
Abraham
Edu. Yes. Then he lost to Natoshi Ado. And then now Carlos Ahinkra. So this is a third, I think, in the Conservative list. Okay. Irene is not interested in the constituency again?
Well, she served the constituency and served it well for 2 terms. She rose to become the deputy chief whip in parliament and still serves the MPP party and government.
But she's not seeking to come back to parliament?
No.
Okay. So you are safe. You don't have problem from... I just wanted to be sure if there's any senior person threatening your...
Well, I think all the 3 former members of parliament are in support of my candidature. I may rightly say so.
Oh, really?
I have served this party during the Abraham Oseidu's tenure.
Okay.
I was a polling agent and became a polling station chairman, rose through the ranks to become a constituency chairman. So it tells you I've been an apprentice for Honorable Edu, I've been apprentice for Honorable Carlos, I served Honorable Irene Toshi before I became the constituency chairman.
I see. How is the party looking in the constituency?
Well, it's great. It's great.
You are not the incumbent chair, are you?
No.
You are not the incumbent chair. So how has the party fared under your tenure as chairman?
Well, we did so many wonderful things. Tema West has had its fair share of infrastructural development, both roads, drainages, when it comes to school infrastructure, sports, 2 AstroTurf, currently as we speak, one at the Committee 2 Mexico School Park, one at Sakumono Village. The third one is in the process. That will be for the people of Bachona. And when it comes to road, all the roads in the Tema Enclave, Committee 2, 3, 5, has seen an asphalt overlay. Come to Sakumono Estate, all their roads have seen major improvement. Where we have a challenge is the roads in Ajay-Kojo, where, as we speak, our member of parliament has been able to lobby for about some 20 kilometers of road, which they've started with the drainages already. They're about 60-70% complete. So we've done so well in it.
It seems to me that your constituency is largely NPP, because the 3 Tema constituencies, Tema East has been switching between NPP and NDC. Tema Central has been NPP since it was created, but Tema Central came out of Tema West. So it means that part of Tema is an NPP stronghold. Would that be fair to say? Because from Tema West, you go to either Ashaiman or you go to Krowo, and they are both NDC.
Yes, all the Tema seats, you are right by saying predominantly MPP. And Tema East actually is an MPP seat, but there were some challenges in the 2020 elections that made us lose it. Because if you quite remember, Honorable Titus won it for the first time with about 4 votes, 3 votes difference. And in 2016, he won with about 4,000, 5,000 thereabouts. And then in 2020, it was overturned. It was basically because of certain misunderstandings in the Tema Newtown enclave that brought about this. But I'm optimistic, and I know that we'll reclaim that seat going into 2024 elections.
The person who covered Tema West for us in election 2020 said to me that Carlos almost lost that seat. I don't remember the figures. If you have them, you were in the election process, so you would know.
All right. So the Tema West elections has changed, has evolved with time. If you look at the 2012 elections, Honorable Irene Toshi had about 39,950. Honorable Ofosu Ampofu, who was contesting from the NDC, had 39,075 thereabouts. So the difference was about 900.
So
now, fast forward 2016, when Honorable Carlos took the reins, Honorable Carlos had about 44,700 thereabouts. And the NDC candidate, James Enu, had about 29,000. So they lost about 10,000 votes, making the votes difference between ourselves and the NDC about 14,000. Now, 2020, Honorable Carlos had 47,000 thereabout, meaning
he lost 2,000.
No, it went up by about 2,000.
You said he had 49,000.
44,000.
Okay, 44.
And we have 47,000.
So 3,000.
But the NDC this time appreciated from 29 to about 44.
Oh, so that's what happened.
That's what happened.
So 44,000 versus 47,000. So that's very close.
Yeah, exactly. But the dynamics was largely because of the new voter register that was compiled. You know, during COVID, a lot of people did not travel to go and register, and they stayed in their various communities. Now, if you split Tema West into two, the Tema Enclave, which has about 5 electoral areas, we have 11 electoral areas. Now, the Tema Enclave that have 5 electoral areas votes massively for the NPP, and always we beat the NDC with more than 12,000 votes difference. But the other enclave, which is outside the Tema Enclave, coming from Lashibi, Ajay, Kojo, Klagom, and Bachona, the NDC always beat us with about 8,000, 9,000 votes.
So if you divided Tema West into two, there's an NDC side and an MPP side. So NPP is like the hard Tema. That's Committee 5, Committee 2. So along that area, the industrial, the communities. Okay, so the committee. I know Committee 3 is
3, 2, and 5.
Those are Tema.
Proper the enclave.
Then you have Lashibi.
Then you have Sakumono Estate, Lashibi.
So Sakumono is also MPP. It's blue.
Yes.
But then Lashibi heading towards Ashaiman. Okay, Klagon, under the bridge.
Under the bridge, Bachona.
Okay.
And Ajay Kojo. Now, when the new voter register was compiled, those areas that are predominantly NDC, that always vote against NPP, the voter population went up.
Why? They didn't have COVID?
They had COVID, so they didn't go out to register. If you pick, let me give you a classical example, like the Bachuna area. Majority of the people that live around a certain area always register outside the constituency. But this time they registered in the constituency. So the voter population went from about 100,000 to 120,000.
So you're saying that people remained home and registered there?
And those areas that were already voting against the NPP, when the register was compiled, their numbers had gone up. And ultimately, they voted against us.
Are you sure? Because then what happened to the people who didn't go home who also stayed in Tema?
I ran the elections. Yeah, I've run 2 elections for the party in the constituency. 2016, I was the youngest campaign manager running the campaign for Honorable Carlos Ahenkwa and the president. I was about 36 years old. And so I know the figures off head. I can just put them to you. And in 2020, I ran the elections as well as the campaign manager and the constituency chairman.
So you are saying that your not defeat, your key contest in 2020 was because of COVID. Are you suggesting that this...
Because of the new voter register that was compiled.
During COVID?
So, yes, so we have new... the population or the voter population in certain areas...
Increasing. How sure are you that these people would not register again this time around? And give you...
we are not compiling a new register. So already their names are on the register.
Okay, so it means your problem is still there.
So now what we need to do as a party is to make sure that the enclave, the Tema enclave, where we get majority of our votes, we either maximize, first we need to protect what we have, the numbers we have, and then maximize it so that it will go to cancel the votes that will come from the other side of the constituency that always vote against us.
That is your plan.
That is the first
could it not be that you are failing with development? The road from Nungwath to Ashaiman has been done, but there are portions that are not good. Could that be one of the reasons? Because the Lashibi area, the Lashibi roads are not good.
Yes, I mentioned.
Could it be one of the reasons that they are not voting for you?
I made mention of them. Lashibi, yes, had their fair share of road infrastructure done well, but not all the areas. The areas that I know is a challenge is the Ajay Kojo area.
Yeah, they don't even have roads. Those places. I used the last 2.
Good, and that's the road that I said the MP has been able to lobby for a 20-kilometer road that the drainages are about 70% complete. But that area has always been voting the NDC. Not during Honorable Carlos or Honorable Irene Stein.
Okay.
It was even
so it's an NDC area.
Good. So it is not new to us that we lose votes from that area, and we get votes from the proper Tema enclave. But what is great for us is that in 2016, during Honorable Carlos's first term, we were able to win Sakumono Main, Wole, which we hadn't won before. And we're able to still maintain it in 2020. So it goes to tell you that they were pleased with what we did for them during the first term of Honorable Carlos, and therefore continued to vote MPP, even though that area was voting NDC during Honorable Abraham Oseedu and Honorable Irene's tenure. So we've been able to steal one of the areas from them, which is currently voting MPP. So now, as a party, we need to protect the areas that already vote NPP and maximize our numbers. Then try as much as we can to steal from the other areas, as well as Honorable Carlos was able to steal Wole from the NDC.
What track record are you hoping to use as a reason to be, okay, what are you campaigning on as a party, first of all? Then I'll ask you as a person.
Okay, well, as a party, as I told you, our current Member of Parliament has done marvelously well when it comes to road infrastructure. We've done so much. When it comes to education, basically every public school in the constituency has been provided with rural decks. The youth, the sports development, as I told you, we have 2 new astroturfs in Sakumono village, the community school park, and the Mexico school in Committee 2. When it comes to schools, he was able to lobby to get a new school being built for the people of Ajay-Kojo, because Ajay-Kojo had only one public school. And Ajay-Kojo, as you said, you live in that area, is a very big community. So getting one additional school for them was a great initiative. He's done marvelously well. As I speak, through the Common Fund Administrator, we built a vocational school in Committee 2, which is yet to be commissioned and open for use. So we have lots of projects that we can identify or point to for people to see the development that has been brought to their doorstep. Come to security, we have a new district police complex in Committee 2. The regional police office is now being built in Committee 3 for the police service. The Member of Parliament recently bought 2 brand new pickups to help the police visibility and moving around. So we've done a lot of things that the party can speak to going into election 2024.
Let's talk about you as a person. So why should you be the one to lead the MPP in that constituency?
Well, as I said, I have worked within this party for a very long time. I've served all the 3 MPs in the party. I've risen from being the polling agent to become a polling station chairman and become the constituency chairman of the party. I've won 2 elections for the party as a campaign manager in 2016 and 2020. Under my chairmanship, I was able, under the auspices of the MP, to roll out an SME and traders investment support fund, which we gave to groups like the Sakumono Village Fishmongers Association to help the women improve on their businesses. We also did a lot of skill development training that got a lot of youth who are unemployed to learn some trade and some skill and become masters of their own.
Now, many politicians, when they are bowing out, would just bow. They say they don't want to publicly endorse anybody. Others also decide to publicly endorse. Have you been publicly endorsed by Carlos, or he is not endorsing anybody in this race? Because there are 2 of you going.
Well, I'm not sure he being father of the constituency, it would be appropriate for him to publicly endorse me. And as I said, having worked with him and having served him, it won't be out of place if he can whisper in a couple of people's ear that, well, this gentleman with his qualities and the experience that he's learned over the years is the best person to lead the party in the constituency.
Are you not going to admit that Tema West is changing and is fast changing, and the results of 2020, despite what you've explained, may become or is fast becoming a constituency that the NPP may lose grips over, because the NDC appears to be interested in going there again and again?
Well, I'm not sure the NDC can, and it's not going to happen. The NDC taking away the seat from us, and then it might interest you to know that the candidate that they presented in 2016, who had about 29,000 votes, is the same candidate they are presenting now. It's not that
he has been sold and marketed, so it's easier. You are coming as a new face.
They presented a new candidate in 2020, so it's not the same candidate.
So they're bringing the 2016
candidate back. You get my point. So it's the same candidate.
But at least he has been marketed before.
I was a campaign manager against, and I beat him.
But you see, you are a new face. Despite the fact that you're a campaign manager, you are in the shadows. You are not on a poster for a parliamentary election. So you are relatively newer than him. He has had a taste of defeat before. He knows what that means, and he would not be ready to be defeated again.
Well, yes, it's true. He's been on the ballot before. I haven't been on the ballot before, but I'm a new face to the people of Tema West and the people of Tema. I was born, bred, and lived all my life in Tema. So I'm not a new face to the people. Yes, but I'm a new face on the ballot paper, as you rightly said. But that doesn't mean that because he's been a candidate before, it's likely or that gives him the edge to win. No, it doesn't work like that.
Which part of Tema are you from?
Comty
2. Which area? Agbamami? BBC, okay. I like
the same area the NDC candidates also come.
So you are neighbors?
Yeah. We are even friends.
You are friends?
Yeah.
I see.
We grew up together.
Who is going to win that area? Based on your history, the figures.
I'm going to beat him. I'm the original homeboy.
But is it an NDC area or an MPP area?
It's an MPP area.
So you are confident that you can win that area?
Very, very confident.
Okay. Let's move on to what you plan to do for the constituency. If you got elected as candidate and eventually win, what is your plan for Tema West?
Africa and Ghana, I think we are sitting on a youth unemployment time bomb waiting to explode. And it's very difficult and dangerous for all of us. We cannot recruit all unemployed graduates into state agencies and government workplaces. What I intend to do is to copy a model that I learned from the Barking and Dagenham College in England, skill training development, where they trained unemployable youth to be employable. They trained youth and give them skills and have proper exit plan. Now, with my experience with what we did with Honorable Carlos during his tenure, when we introduced skill development training for the youth, because we did it in maybe 10 days, 7 days, and the exit plan was not properly done. So we could not achieve what the targets and the aim that we were expecting to. But having learned from the experience and knowing how we could not meet our target, I would introduce skill development training by building an ultra-modern youth skill development training resource center in Tema, where we're going to train the youth in employable skills that will be theirs and a proper exit plan for them. Then after, they can be bosses and men of their own. Secondly, as I told you, we tried introducing the SME support under the former MP, Honorable Carlos, I mean the incumbent MP. I think we had challenges with that too, even though the MP gave us a seed capital of about 200,000 cedis. The way we expected it to revolve and the recollection and the collecting of the fees back did not go as planned. And I would want to reintroduce this thing, the same scheme again, but this time properly managed, properly planned, learning from the failures and the things that didn't go well during the other scheme.
You are on a coast, or you are a coastal constituency. Do you have fishermen? You have the port is in your constituency, right?
No, the port is not in our constituency. There's only one electoral area that is in the coast, Wole.
Okay, that's the Sakumono side.
Village, yeah.
Do you have fishermen?
Yes, there are fisher folks.
What's your fisheries agenda?
Well, there are two things. The fisher folks in that area needs a smoking, an oven to smoke their fish. Because if you see how they are scattered around the community, I was speaking to the president of the Fishmongers Association, and she told me they would be glad if I could build an oven in one area that all of them could access and even pay a fee to manage and maintain it, which I think it was a laudable idea. So I gave her my word that if I'm to lead the constituency, we'll build a community oven that the women would and men alike would use, because they believe that could help them store the fish for a longer period than the normal way of storing fish.
I see. Aram has sent me a message and he says Committee 18, 19 and 20 roads are bad. Even Sakumono Junction itself is terribly bad. Not even patching of the potholes. This is someone who lives in your constituency. What do you say to that?
Yes, it's true. I can't sit on radio and tell it. Like, yes, the Sakumono Estate Junction, where the traffic light is bad, because it feeds into the Junction Mall flyover that is being constructed. And if the construction had gone on smoothly, that area would have joined into the flyover.
Junction Mall is not in your constituency, is it?
It's in Krowa.
It's in Krowa. Edmond says, please ask him what his plan is for the Ashaman under bridge. The road under the bridge is terrible, and in 2024, that bridge cannot remain a one-lane bridge. The story with this bridge is that my father used to head cattle around Santor, and he told me that in those days, that was just a cattle path.
Yeah, it's true.
So that Nkrumah didn't want cattle to cross over the motorway. They would go through from Santor. If you want to come to Lashibi, you go under the bridge. It has become a road, and we have the sad situation with that tunnel is that we have a dual carriage coming from Accra through the beach road all the way, 10 minutes at that point. Then from Ashaman, dual carriage, 10 minutes. And then you have 2 lanes or 4 lanes ending in one. It's chaotic. How come your MP did not lobby for a flyover on the motorway?
My MP lobbied for not just a flyover, that the tunnel should be expanded, just like the one in East Legon. But there was a grand scheme of expanding the motorway, which will feed into that area. So on all his accounts, the road ministry told him that because of that plan, they cannot expand the tunnel. So we need to wait that the expansion of the motorway will feed into that area, and I think a flyover will be.
But we should find a solution to that.
So now the only solution we had was to once in a while level the place, put gravels, and then make sure it's motorable until the expansion, which we all know the road minister has said construction is yet to begin.
In 30 seconds, speak to your delegates in Tema West and tell them why they should choose you.
Well, I would want to tell the polling station executive in Tema West, the Nizamfu Sifa, who you popularly call Chairman Nana Boache. You have known me in this constituency. I've worked with the party from the polling agent to become a polling station chairman, rising to be the constituency chairman of this party. I've run and won 2 elections with this the party for Tema West. I believe that if we need someone who really understands elections and understands the party in the constituency to lead us going into election 2024, then I'll plead with you to vote for Nana Boache, number 1 on the ballot, come 27 January.
But the name on the ballot will be Dennis Amfo Sefa, not Nana Boache. Thank you so much for joining us for Point Blank. That's an NPP parliamentary hopeful for Tema West. My name is Umaru Sanda Amado. That will be it for Eyewitness News tonight. Production by Kobna Wilson, Sami Wiafi, and Beverly London. Technical support from Daniel Squashy. Edwin Kwakofi took care of our new media staff. We'll be back tomorrow at 17:30 GMT. Thank you for listening, and have a good night.